Alright guys, so here we are in the Virginia Central. You can see that yellow locomotive, and then we've got all these sand hoppers, and then we've got a crane with a unit on that. Alright, and we can see the cars and the locomotives on the back side there. That is actually the Midland over there, the Virginia Midland. Alright, so we will continue with the Virginia Central here while we're already started on it. So as we can see, we've got a little 2-track, I wouldn't even say it's a yard, just more of a 2-track, and we do, that actually leads to an industry, and so we will follow. As we can see, it goes by the old depot here. Alright, and we see a crossing down here, and we can still see the Virginia Midland tracks in the background, and we'll cover them in a minute. And we can see where it goes over. And my camera's really being a pain in the butt. So we'll zoom in here. Alright. And notice the track on the left is still the Virginia Central. And then it comes to this giant aggregate plant here. And so we will take a look at this. Alright. So this is actually my newest part on the layout. Okay. What I did, the layout actually ended right in here. Actually, if we roll these cars forward, pretty much this was the end of the layout right here. So when you guys were coming, when we were doing the James River Division tour back in, right before the pandemic, I was really in a hurry to get this whole section done because this was pink foam and everything like this. So what this signifies is just kind of an extension of the aggregate plan here. Actually, so what happens here is we have sand coming from these hoppers that come from the lower level. They come up and they dump into this elevator, and it goes up in here, and then they're put onto trucks. So pretty much a sand place. So it's a pretty busy place here. Okay, so I kind of added to it. So we're in Fredericksburg. So if you know Fredericksburg, we got the Rappahannock River. So I'm thinking, how about let's put a little river scene here with a barge. So I went ahead, and a friend of mine had a barge, and I put that there. Now this scene is not done completely yet. It's close. So what I did is I put this unloading trestle here, which was, could support dumping out of the different hoppers and stuff like that. So it would drop below, and then they could load, trucks if they wanted to, or they could load the barge. Okay, so the river scene actually sticks out. So this sticks out probably about 2 foot over there, probably about 20 inches over here. So it's a kind of a weird setup here. And I thought I captured the dirt and the grime of the river bottom here. Or we're not really river bottom, but the sandy soil and stuff near a river and everything, pretty well. So the cars come down and unload. So what I also need to do is put some kind of bin down here to catch the sand and things, and where we have some conveyors that will actually load the barges and stuff like that. So just something a little bit different. I really didn't really have anything to follow anything, and it turned out well and stuff like that. I've got some piles and stuff of sand and things like that. I guess it's sand, might be sawdust, who knows. So this is kind of something when you walk in the room that kind of just draws people's attention, and I wanted that. Now, is it a pain in the butt because this peninsula sticks out a little bit farther in my layout room? Of course, because I roll back in my chair here and I hit my head constantly, so I need to put some little head buffers or something on there. So anyways, so this is the aggregate plan. This is Rappahannock aggregate, of course. Rappahannock River here. Got some canoers out here and stuff like that. Hopefully you can see those. I'm not pretty. Yeah, you can. You're doing well. So it's a pretty cool scene. It's the only problem that I run into. Really, it's not even a problem. All right, and I'll move the camera around so you can kind of see the scene here. All right. Only problem is the lead track it only allows. So I bring the Jeep over here. I can bring 4 cars over here. So I can't really. I got to kind of get the empties first take them out of here and then bring the fulls and put them over. Because I can't really bring, I could bring 2 cars over and switch to, that would take forever. So it's definitely it takes longer than you think over here to switch. Now with more cars over here, it's going to even take even longer for a switch. So as you can see, my railroad here, I've got quite a few little switching tasks and things to do. And we can see the setup of the, damn, this camera is not cooperating real well. As you can see, I've got to, try to grab an entrance to the plan here. Even put in flashing lights here for the, let's see if I can roll down here a little bit, get a little bit lower. Little house here, or actually not house, but just a place for people to, you got paperwork and stuff for the plant, and then we've got the road that goes off in the distance, and then we're back over here by my door. So the closest track would be is your Virginia Central. So this is like a switch in itself here. This little short line here on my layout actually, will definitely keep somebody pretty busy. All right. So anyways, all right, let's turn the signals off, and we will go back over here and finish up our tour. All right, let's finish up with the Midland up here in Fredericksburg. So over here, we have a team track. We can see when we have a box car and a flat car over there. Just a simple ramp where you can pretty much bring in a lot of different things. So that gives you lots of switching opportunities there. All right, and we can see over here in the very corner, and if you see that square thing going up, that's my electric and stuff for my lights and everything. So that's why it's kind of square. I didn't have a backdrop there, but I actually use it on a diorama. So over here in the corner is, what is exactly this place? This is, I'm trying to think of the name of it. Patriot Industries, I'm sorry. You can see the logo there, and I just can't, couldn't remember it offhand. And that's kind of pool chemicals and things like that. So we get chlorine and a little bit of everything. Need to redo the fence there. The posts are way too big, and something I did years ago. I need to come back and get better fences out there now. Right next door to Patriot Industries is Klotz. As we can see, one of the Virginia Midland cabooses sits there, and we got some Virginia Central box cars that are actually over here on the Midland, and this, of course, they're loading up whatever they load up in those box cars. Klotz is a cardboard company. They load up boxes and stuff like that, so and ship out to different companies and things like that. So over here in this back, we can see we have a right in front of these wood chip hoppers, this track right in here. This is the RF&P track. Pretty much it's called Fredericksburg siding. So the RF&P comes in, dumps their cars off there, and they grab whatever the cars over in the other track, and then they go back under the bridge and back out into hidden staging. All right. Here's one of the Alcos for Virginia Midland sitting over here, sitting on the industrial track, and of course it's pointed forward towards Klotz and Patriot, so it will do some switching here very soon. Just got a background building here, as you can see, and then we're going to move. We see the depot again, and as I try to maneuver my legs on my tripod here, as we can see here, this is Old Dominion Foods, and what they do, they are they're a refrigerated freezer food I can't say it today, distribution factory here. So we get some timely produce and frozen foods and stuff here in Fredericksburg, so they can ship out to different customers here in the region. All right. As we keep on panning to the left here, we can see all my industries are pretty much piled up against the wall. So a lot of them are scratch built. Old Dominion Foods, I'll probably come back and do it again. I know it's very crudely put together, but it serves a good purpose. The styrene and stuff's kind of thin. Specialized Beverages at Walther's building. I can't remember offhand what it is, but you can see the logos back there in the back. That is a beer company. Always popular for anybody that comes over and is doing an op session. Just kidding. So they get several different box cars, and they, if we can zoom in here a little bit, let me see if I can zoom in and pull some of these cars out. And you can see the dock is it's got people and stuff on it. So if I can move that box car, you can see a little bit better. And your typical sloppy industry spurs and things like that. Also are very, very common here. It is an industrial railroad, so switching layout. So you definitely got to have some weeds and trash and stuff strong everywhere. All right, right beside it is probably the biggest industry above on the upper level here, and it's pretty expansive here. As you can see, I can't even fit it all on my camera. All right, this is Mid-Atlantic Feeds, or MAF. All right, what it is a dog food, pet food distribution warehouse, and actually they manufactured here. I should say that too. So we've got a couple different spurs here. So if we go back to the main building over here where these trailers are, as we can see over here, I wish I had something to point with. That's a good idea, so I'll have to think about it. Of course, I think about that now. So, they ship out there, and on that end there with the trailers, and of course the boxcars, and of course on this end that they bring in the feed and everything else. And we can see it's a pretty big elevator here. We got a couple other new ones here. Got a grain dryer there that I just put up there. Found it in one of my boxes. So I've got to still connect. I'm going to probably do a different shed here where I can have 2 tracks going in there instead of 1. So I've got a couple different things I want to do here with that. As we can see, we got a couple more signals over here for that. So, Mid-Atlantic Feeds is a pretty, big industry here. It goes in the back, and, it's pretty expansive. And as we can see, the railroad keeps on continuing right around the curve there. And always get people on this, but it looks like, of course, if I can zoom in, it goes around the curve here, and I can see if I can get this here. Got a mirror under that bridge there, and so looks like it continues there. All right, so that makes switching Mid-Atlantic Feeds here with the hoppers and stuff a little bit difficult, but as with any switching layout, you're going to have to, devise a plan, and, always ask, the layout owner, any kind of advice, because I've let people work my layout here, and there's trailing spurs here over in the back, and there's facing spurs, so you definitely have to, it's almost like a chess game. You got to know how to switch them out and stuff like that, and know what you're doing, and know a move before your move that you're working on right now. So anyways, all right guys, so this is the upper level, pretty much complete, as you can see, with all the scenery done and everything. And as you know, layouts are never complete, so I'm still working in and putting different vehicles in there. And as you can see, we're mid-80s, so I've got a lot of mid-80s vehicles here. And I think, in just my opinion, vehicles set your tone. Vehicles and billboards. And I do not have any billboards up, but I'm going to get some mid-80s billboards and put them up. And so definitely to set the scene for 1985 that I'm shooting for. So anyways, all right guys, we will continue the tour down to the lower level.